Hello, today we'll be talking about the idol magical girl with a passion for swords, Sayuki Fumino. So let's begin. Sayuki Fumio is an 18-year-old support-type magical girl. She is 157 centimeters in height. Her eyes are orange, and her hair is a peach color. Sayuki comes from the Mizuna ward in Kamehama City. Sayuki's soul gem is an orange rectangle located on her chest as an accessory. Her weapon is a microphone. Her wish to be a magical girl was from wanting to have friends she can relate with, since she has a passion for swords. She wants friends who can relate to the same passion she has. I want friends I can get excited with. Sayuki's witch and Doppel are Gannishikudoku. She attends Mizuna Girls' School in the 12th grade. Her magical girl element is the light element, and her ability is provide magic. Distribute her magic to her fellow magical girls. A magical girl with a rather particular passion, Japanese swords. When katanas or anything else she's interested comes up, it's in the conversation, there's no stopping her. She also tours as a local idol for the historical witch Mizuna. The Doppel of Duty. Its form is a short sword. The master of this emotion is convinced that the excessive expectations and envy directed at her by others, that giant mass of selfish affection, are solely her responsibility to take on. The Doppel exists so that, when its master's heart eventually becomes too worn down to fulfill the obligation, it can assist her with her one final task. All of this Doppel's power fundamentally exists for its master's sake alone, but because of its merciful dissipation, it also selects one lucky companion to receive the privilege of departing alongside its master. It's very mistake-prone and tends to accidentally send off only the companion, but that just adds to its charm. When Sayuki was a child, her parents brought her to an idol performance. It became a trauma for her as the crowd went too wild and she almost got squeezed to death. Nothing abnormal happens as she grows up in a happy life with a happy family and loving parents. While her interest in katanas and their history created a gap between her and her classmates, they get along pretty well since they respected her love for katanas and disinterest for their more modern interests like TV, idols, etc. However, Sayuki feels a little lonely since she lacks someone to share her interests with, and this feeling grew during a visit to the local art museum when she sees pairs of adults viewing the katanas like she is. The feeling grew stronger when she missed the opportunity to speak with a girl from her school who also seems interested in these katanas, Mayumi Kozo. Kyubei seized this opportunity and tried to contract her, but first used the mourning to calm the poor girl down as she died he was going to eat her, and then had to explain to the girl until sunset that contracting with him allows one wish of hers to be granted at the price of fighting witches. Sayuki only got to the part about fighting evil witches to protect people, and it's hesitant at first since she is not athletic, but is convinced by Kyubei that he will assist. Magic will boost her, and only a chosen few can take up the task, since she thinks it is a duty to protect people if she has the power. However, Kyubei has to wait until night comes since the girl doesn't really have anything to wish for. She asks for suggestions, so Kyubei says some wish for money, but Sayuki thinks this is a bad idea since she would be able to take care of the katanas that will buy if she has the money. She has a collection of katanas since collecting them is also a hobby, though Kyubei says some wishing to improve their situation strikes a chord. Thus, she wishes for a friend to share her joy, and the contract is sealed. Unfortunately, she was not able to meet Mayu again on the regular trips to the museum, though Kyubei assured her that he had granted her wish. One day, she was approached by a lady in a suit who introduces herself as an agent and asks if Sayuki is interested in becoming an idol. This brought back her trauma, and she pleads for anything but that, but the lady is able to calm her down. Seeing how Sayuki really has no interest, the lady proceeds to leave. Dejected, since she believes Sayuki, whom she regularly sees at the katana corner of the museum, is the perfect candidate for being a local idol of Mizunzuna, promoting the region's history related with weapons. They have even prepared for an interview with a famed local swordsmith. This caught Sayuki's attention as she is interested in the histories of weapons and the weapons themselves, and that blacksmith is one of her idols. She found herself caught in the flow since her mother loves the idea, as she loves her daughter is interested in sharing her knowledge on katanas, and this theme idol is perfect for her. She even managed to convince Sayuki that buying and having her personal katana crafted with her own hard-earned cash is wonderful. While Sayuki agrees and eventually takes up the offer, she wonders why her wish led her to become an idol when she wants to have friends of common interest to talk about katanas with. Sayuki is dense, clumsy, and slow at learning, so she had a hard time learning how to dance and sing as an idol. Her trauma during her childhood worsened her motivation, and she really wanted to quit, but lacked the courage to speak up. The day becomes worse when her manager informs her that the shooting for her music video will be coming up, thus increasing the number of lessons as well. While her manager gives her words of encouragement on how to work hard never betrays, Sayuki herself is doubtful since she has been pushed by the flow and never felt like she has improved at all. One day, she was called to her manager's office after lessons, and she was wondered if she was to be fired. To her surprise, her manager announced that they will be holding her first concert at Minazuna's local idol. It seems her music video was a success, and her official SNS is able to attract enough audience to hold a mini concert. Flashbacks come as Sayuki is frozen by trauma and is sure the audience will tear her apart if she messes up and tries to make excuses. Eventually, her trust for her manager overweights her at her own uncertainties, and she accepts the arrangement, training her even harder. Sayuki wonders if Kyubei mistook her wish for having friends to enjoy katana interests with having people to have a good time together. On the big day, Sayuki's parents drove her there personally and took the front seat at the mini concert. However, the crowd assembled triggers her fright of being squeezed to death like when she was young, and she is sure they will have her head when she screws up. Her manager noticed her stage fright and gave her words of encouragement. Eventually, she tells Sayuki if anything goes wrong, she can blame her and the company for poor management. Sayuki cannot comply, and her manager tells her to relax since they are in this together. She should do her best and have a good time with the audience. Sayuki wonders why her wish was granted this way, but it is brought back to reality when the call to go is given. The warm and welcoming audience, Rana at the front and the loudest, allows Sayuki to relax and not see them as enemies but as friends. She is able to give a stunning and perfect performance, winning everyone's present and earning her a strong fan base as they love her performance and her in-depth expressions of katanas and their histories. Rena is presence gave her a great confidence boost since she realized her love for katanas is not dead to people of the same gender and age. The successful concert gave Sayuki a huge boost in confidence, and she thanked her manager in an aftermath for approaching her. While it is not what she expected, her wish to have a good time with people sharing her love for katanas is indeed granted. From then on, Sayuki's fame and confidence grew steadily. Her instructors and managers agreed that while she is still clumsy and slow in learning, she has become more positive and used hard work to overcome her weakness. Eventually, she has assumed enough fame to hold a concert in a huge stadium, and the whole team is looking forward to it as well. However, the overexcited crowd exploded with emotion, pushing down its security stands and squeezing with each other when Sayuki came on stage. This awoke Sayuki's childhood trauma, and the girl broke down on stage in tears, forcing the concert to come to a halt. Sayuki wonders if it's her wish that made the crowd lose control and go wild, overcoming with guilt, and once again considering quitting instead of re-permitting her. Her manager gave her tickets to the art museum to take a break since she has been working very hard all this time. Sayuki took the tickets and agreed to rest for a while with guilt. At the museum, Sayuki slowly relaxes as she indulges in her hobby and is enjoying the quiet atmosphere. It is then where she meets the girl from before. Though she still lacks the confidence to speak to her, this time around, their eyes met and the girl spoke up instead. After introducing herself, Mayumi wonders if Sayuki likes katanas since she has seen her in the corner plenty of times. The excited Sayuki gave a positive reply and asked if Mayumi shares the same interest. Sayuki is dejected at first when Mayumi says no, but lights up again when Mayumi explains she is interested in katana since it's a part of her job acting as a guide, but also part of her interest as an art restorer. She managed to get Sayuki to teach her about katanas, but be in a history of different models and how to identify their characteristics. They had such a great time together that they didn't notice the museum was about to close. Sayuki is very nervous at first to befriend Mayumi in fear of rejection, but seeing how Mayumi also seems to be flooded about something, Sayuki gains the courage and successfully befriends Mayumi, someone who shares the same interests as she does. The action gave Sayuki a burst of courage to ask her manager to post an announcement on her official SNS before the start of her third-day tour. She pleads the crowd to not push and squeeze towards the stage as it threatens their safety, and she does not want anyone to get hurt or have bad memories. Her plea is returned by a huge applause and passion as the audience are touched by her concern for their safety, and they keep to their promise, enjoying the concert without going too wild. Rena and Mayumi are shown enjoying themselves as well. After the concert, Mayumi thanked Sayuki for inviting her, giving her the best experience for her first audience to a concert, as she can enjoy Sayuki's performance clearly and safely. Sayuki believes that speaking out is important no matter the results, and swears to protect the kind of people who have been kind to her. Her abilities are not that well explained, but what we do know is that it is called Provide Magic, and that from what is known, she can give out her own magic to other magical girls. Her first name, Sayuki, means sand, gentle, and hope, while her last name, Fumino, means history, and from accordingly, respectfully. Fact 1. She loves ancient swords, as the item that was stolen from her was a book on the topic, and she wears a beret with a sword motif. Fact 2. In addition to ancient swords, she loves the work of a modern Minazuna swordsmith named Kamagiri. Fact 3. She was the first mentioned in Chapter 2 of Magic Record's main story as Minami's favorite idol. Fact 4. Gannishikudoku is a passage of the Buddhist prayer about transferring merit. Echoes, which is also called Ekomon, this passage literally means, I wish with the merit of my patient practice. Fact 5. Sayuki Fumino's voice actor is Machiko, who is herself a real-life idol and has done a number of songs outside of music. Characters Machiko is best known for voicing in the voice acting roles are Ayane Masaki in Kira Precure a la Mode, Adia Mies Vagalis in World's End, Tokai Tio in Uma Musume Pretty Derby, and Machiko in Seiyu's Life. And that's Sayuki Fumino. Next time, I'll be talking about Reiko Chiaki. So see you next time. Bye!